what I would like to actually share with you, the experience that we have around the globe, what that means with regards to cognitive technology. And I actually rather talk about cognitive technology and not about AI, because I don't want to go into the discussion about what is real AI and what is not real AI. The fact is, it's going to shape us. It is already shaping us. And therefore also our title, Shape Instead of Being Shaped. Now, I'm not going to go into technical details. I don't going to convince you guys, because you belong to the pioneers. You belong to those people who are actually standing here and using smart technology. But what about your customers? What about your employees? What about the fears that the people has out there? What about the jobs? Are the jobs going to be redundant? Actually not. Where we're saying it's about tasks being redundant. And this is exactly what SwissCognitive stands for. We promote the smart technology around the globe as the one with IPsoft. And I'm actually very proud to say that the very, very first event that we had in September 2016 in Switzerland was also with IPsoft as partners. So they were definitely a partner who supported us with our visionary idea to where we are today, with a community that shares over 400 AI-interested people, AI thought leaders and pioneers around the globe. We definitely talk about practical AI and not about Terminators or sci-fi. And what we want to is enable the companies, the enterprises, institutions, everyone involved in the ecosystem to use smart technology to get their business competitive, to revolutionize the business. And in purpose, I'm not talking about disruption, because disruption is something negative. Let's revolutionize the business. Let's onboard the people, onboard the customers, and onboard the employees, and show them the chances that we do have. And to quote Chetan, what he said this morning is, facing value through innovation. And this is definitely something I can stand behind it. We saw already a lot of use cases, and Andy will go through you with some use cases that we've heard about. But first of that, we just had this experience that technology don't always work. So are the robots going to really take over the globe? Definitely not. We're very convinced that it's not going to be the case, because at the end of the day, it's all about human. It's about us interacting. But what is really great about the whole thing, and what we've heard this morning, is that smart technology are supporting us, are augmenting our brain, are making our life easier, so we have more time for our customers and also for our employees. And there is one very nice story about, I'm a mother of 2 teenager girls, and I definitely would be the first person hire a robo-nanny at home. Although I like to cook, especially on weekends, but doing the household during the whole week, definitely not what I would like to do. So let's imagine I have this robo-nanny, and one of the goals is every single evening, 7 o'clock, the table is laid and the dinner is ready, so I can have quality time with my family. One day, the robo-nanny opens the fridge. Unfortunately, it's empty. But the goal is actually to lay the table and make dinner. Nothing easier than that. He looks around and suddenly sees this little kitty cat. Now, I know there are certain cultures where that wouldn't be a problem, but not at ours. So there is a big fight about the robo-nanny and the cat, and I'm coming in, and I'm just so stressed seeing that, and I'm trying to push the red button, but there is no red button because the robo-nanny is also fighting against me, because I was the one who actually gave him the order to have the table laid with the dinner prepared. And this shows us that it's definitely our responsibility to make sure that all the algorithms that we're creating are thought through the whole process. It is a lot about responsibility, and this is on us. And this is also something that we need to talk about and be open and transparent towards our employees and customers, and to see where their fears are and what they question. We all agree that the AI is a huge potential in every single business. This is actually one of the biggest steps humanity ever had. I just want to show you quickly, if it works again, the technique. I just want to show you a quick video to see where we would like to be already.
Driving cars can just be programmed to stay in the middle and accelerate simultaneously. They'll just do it. The more self-driving cars at an intersection, the more efficient the intersection gets. A solid lane of self-driving cars vastly increases throughput. Actually, if you ban humans from the road, which we should totally do anyway, you can get rid of the intersection entirely. After all, a traffic light is just a tool for drivers on one road to communicate with drivers on another, poorly and coarsely. Red equals don't go now, we are coming through the intersection. Green equals good to go. But self-driving cars can talk to each other at the speed of light. With that kind of coordination, no traffic light necessary. Just as with a highway, the best intersection is no intersection. Humans will never drive this precisely. At the intersection, the fundamental problem with traffic that you watch unfold, as with everything, is people. So the real simple solution to traffic is no more monkeys driving cars.
So this is a nice example how we can say that algorithms are outperforming humans in domain-restricted areas more and more. But what about our core competences? Our core competences are creativity. So what happens with AI now, obviously, we have more performance and also more intelligence in the computers, but at the end of the day, it's a game between human and machine. And this is what we say, especially now, it's all about all the repetitive tasks that helps us. It's about an augmentation of our brain. It's a support in our daily life, especially in all these things that we actually don't really like to do. I mean, otherwise we wouldn't use Excel for do calculation. So it's about getting also used to the new technology and be open for that and take the opportunity and see how we can actually invest our time, human intelligence, into what we like to do and into our employees, into our neighbors, into our kids in the new generation. And this also is also about the emotional intelligence. So what we see, the biggest challenges are definitely convincing people. What does that mean to be open for this new technology? The reality check. People have a feeling that actually Siri could also play chess with you, drink a beer, and figure out what you would like to do tomorrow, but that's not the way. For the time being, it's really on one domain. And that means also managing fear. Take it serious, and especially show the upside. What does that mean for the human being in the future? We've heard that already today. Let's take the small little baby steps. But I absolutely agree, it's not only about having the small little baby steps and having a POC, it's always about what should this be for? Where is the global picture? And have the vision for the new business. It is definitely about performance versus competences. And I think, and I'm very much sure about that everything about emotions, creativity will remain with us because this is part of us and we love it, so why should we give it away? And the last point, what for me is one of the most important things, is inclusiveness. We are always talking about all these people who may not have a job anymore, what is definitely sad and a problem, and we need to focus on that on the political and social aspects. But have you ever imagined how many disabled people have the possibility to be reintegrated or for the first time integrated into the workforce through smart technology. And this is exactly one of the things that we definitely need to be aware of. It is all about inclusiveness. So let's let them alive. And now we're happy to show you an overview about different kind of use cases in different industries, what we have seen so far. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dalith. Oh, my mic is working. Just one correction to Dalith, sorry about. We are having today 400, not 400 IO Pioneer around of us, 400,000. So it's our community is growing by 20% a month, so quite good numbers for us as a startup. So I would like to show you some use cases around the world and also around the industry. But I would like to start here because after seeing so many use cases, thousands of use cases in our articles, we saw 4 pillars. It's very important to know them, and also pioneers know these pillars. So first is we should talk about AI talents. Which talents we should have to achieve AI pioneer AI pilots in our company. Most of the answer here is go the first step with an ecosystem. You don't need own talents. You need ecosystem, you need network with startups, with other companies. So very important task here. You don't know which talent you need for the future projects. Second is, how about the data access? You need some policy in place, open policy that you can handle your own data. Have no concern about opening the data to APIs and so on, because next pillar is coming up too, the AI technology stack. If you do not have an idea how to open your architecture, IT architecture, you're probably facing very strong wind against you. So very important, these 3 points. Last but not least, but mainly the biggest pillar is leadership. How to avoid any questions that we saw before with the baby steps and to all the questions concerning AI. So lots of leadership. You need lots of humanity to go on. If you just do nothing about leadership, you're ending in the question, oh yeah, that's just another cost-cutting program. And you will see a lot of wind against you. So very important, these 4 pillars. And let's dive in some good example. We're starting here with the logistic, vessel fleet management. And as you can see here, the numbers, that's quite normal to see double-digit numbers in terms of efficiency, in terms of new business growth, and so on. So that's AI. AI is not anymore this 5% or 2% tool setting. So normally if you do well with new business, you're ending up with 20%. Even in healthcare, you will see later on with 50 and more % efficiency or growth. So this is a good example. If you are captain, I'm a skipper. If you are captain on a ship, you have only your view. You have no clue what's going on in the sea out there if you're not connected to this vessel in front of you. That's logic, but it's not done today. But this example here shows us if you're connecting this all together, and that's a lot of information. You don't need to be very experienced to see that needs really AI technology to understand this data. So, and what they have achieved here, 20% saving on maintenance and repair and 5% fuel saving, that's a lot, as you know. And that's just the begin. If you're going ahead and having other ideas behind here, why are you driving so fast if the port is not ready? yeah, just another other business model too. So you have to have a trading platform behind, and that's exactly what they do. Next example is now is an Intel company. Mobileye is largest exit ever in Israel by 17 billion. What they have is camera on cars and buses, as you can see here, and they're collecting data not only for the driver. That's of course it seems to be that the main business. No, it's not. They're collecting data and giving to the government of cities and say, listen, we know which is the corner that you should invest, because here are accidents happen a lot, more frequently than other places around. So that's a collecting data in another matter. So a very good example of driving assistance system, just for each driver, but collecting data on a bigger amount to achieve better understanding where you should invest in the infrastructure. Next is a very good example how we can help not only first world countries, but also some poorest region in the world. Here an example of sugarcane. And the color is here colored, that's photographed from drones and satellite, and that's the growth of this sugarcane in different dimensions. And if you can imagine, to bring this sugarcane to the industry, it's needed lots of logistics. And you should know what's the best timing to do this. And that's a logic way to use AI. And a good example from a startup doing this together with development program of the United Nations. I like this example because here is so many opportunity, just on a little example, to do this also on a larger scale. Next one is a funny one. Who is playing golf? Or who is searching the ball? And that's a startup too, and they'll have different options in the ball. Looking where is the ball, that's one option. Also how you played the ball, how you should play the ball. So lots of information, as you can imagine. And combining this all together, it's a more funny play at the end, and you probably have a better understanding how you should play golf at the end. Next one is it's a startup in Switzerland. All around here we could have example. Very common way now to enforce digitalizing new opportunity in the finance industry. So that's giving insights for salesperson. Having these insights ready in a better quality, in a faster way. You can run these insights every second if you like, not preparing for the next client meeting in a desktop research approach as we do this today. No, that really brings all the insights together. Really business operational task fulfilling behind, and afterwards you know as sales exactly how to transport this information to your client. So very successful story. Last one, a funny one. As you know, there's not only AIs in a large unfunny-wise experience. That's a funny whisk AI approach, how to know which whiskey you should taste now or having on the bar. So a good example from a university to use AI in another kind, more human touch kind, isn't it? Probably you are not so aware that if you have countries with strong dialects, you're facing lots of problems if you're using chatbots or natural language processing. And there is a lot of investment going on to include them also to our society. If you're using English, that's probably, you have such a large group to do this, but if you're going to a smaller, tiny languages or strong dialects, you're facing a really problem to use and also to grow the AI industry. And that's a good approach to invest also in this kind of dialect voice recognition industry. That's a very important one. It's also supported by the United Nations also to include all the region and give them better prosperity and also catch up with the economy. One very important topic, and we could talk over hours, is healthcare industry. Healthcare industry is at least double digit growing in AI. Not only by digital twins, for example, to have the pipeline in pharmaceutical industry, but here we have a good example of glaucoma. Glaucoma is very common, I have to say. 3% of the global population, as you can see here, over 40. So most of us over 40 have the problem of glaucoma. But more or less, we are not going to the doctor and to face this problem. Here is a startup that found out a better way, doing this with smartphones, collecting data and having an excellent result to the patient and giving them a better treatment possibility, and of course also a treatment not in the late stage, in the early stage. Very important by glaucoma. As you can see, we crossing all the industry. Here we ending up in the mining industry. You're probably not working in mining, probably not on the ground, I would say, but more or less it's very important to have air. Air is everything there. How to become air down there is the expensive part of mining. And of course, if you blow up, then you have to shut down the operation because no one can go in. So a very important task is to have uptime improvement. And as you can see here, 5% uptime improvement is a lot. You can grab, you can dig in this time, and that's a lot. And if you can see 40 to 50% energy saving is done because they recognize each person in the mine, where is it located by AI, and guiding the airflow directly to the person till the person has the right air, and of course by sensors and so on. So very important one. Why should I clean up the whole mine if I don't use this there or here? I just have to look where is the person, where are the machines and where are the persons, and which kind of air you need in the different sections. So that's that's why we haven't done this before. It's also here a lot of data, and to process this data you need deep learning, machine learning, but most of the time you need already deep learning algorithm, and we didn't have this on an industrial base 2.5 years ago. So that's more or less my journey over the world in all the direction. I can give you for hours more, but if you combine all this, we're coming to this conclusion. More or less, the successful use case is not ending in optimizing, then normally ending in new business. Coming back to the last one, of course, it's a new business. You you're coming up and say, I promise you, each person has always the right airflow around themselves, the best air, and on a certain business level, I would say, so SLA. And everything else, it's up to a service provider. And then they can really save money. So it's always new business behind. If you stick to the idea just only to optimize, that's not a huge business case, as we see over hundreds and thousands of use cases. That's not going to work with AI. So that's my conclusion. You have to be a master in your subject matter expertise, so in your industry, but also as leader. And that brings me to the question, do you have any questions to me and to Dalith? Yeah, I would say, why wait? Act now. Okay, thanks.